Everything changed for me when I understood this philosophy. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. That's the simple philosophy that changed my life forever starting age 24. If you work hard on your job, you can make a living, which is fine. If you work hard on yourself, you can make a fortune, which is super fine. I didn't mind working hard on my job, but things didn't seem to change that much. Then I started working hard on myself to qualify. So let me put it in a philosophical phrase now. This is worth the price of whatever it costs for you to be here today. Here it is. Success is something you attract. Success is not something you pursue. It's something you attract by becoming attractive. And the whole scope of this we call now personal development. You can have more than you've got because you can become more than you are. If you can multiply your value by 3, by 5, you can easily multiply your income by 3, by 5, by 10. But the key to doing it is to work hard on yourself. Now, that's why I mentioned this personal development part is learning multiple skills. If it would serve you, multiple languages, okay? Working hard on yourself. You know, people are fun to work with. The key sometimes it's not fun to work with is yourself. How come I'm reluctant when I should be excited? Right? You just go through this dilemma. The work we do is fairly easy. Mr. Schoaf, my first mentor, taught me, the world is mostly full of real nice people. In fact, he said there's only about 11 or 12 real nasty, miserable, horrible people in the whole world. Now, he said they move around a lot. So you're bound to find one once in a while. But if you found one, you say, hey, there's only 11 more like you, I can handle that. I mean, there's not 1,000. But here's the big challenge, working hard on yourself. Personality and temperament and mindset, talked about culture, all the stuff necessary to individually be responsible, be a growing, attractive, powerful, skillful, communicating human being, and the world belongs to you.
What are you teaching people when they sit home and get paid to do nothing? What kind of habits do humans pick up when that happens? We figured this out during the Great Depression. During the Great Depression, we had public works programs where the government literally paid men to get the fuck out of the house and go build roads to literally nowhere. Most of the interstate highways that go across the United States were built during that time period. The Hoover Dam was built during that time period. Why? Because we knew having men stay home and do nothing was horrific for our culture. Not surprisingly, way worse than the fucking pandemic, and we're only going to begin to fill the pall out of this, is how bad mental health got when people were sitting home. Not to mention the kinds of abuse that kids and others had to go through when the whole family was at home doing nothing. Idle hands are the devil's playground. That was the shit I was talking about. It went over most people's heads because, well, humans.
People's opinion of you is none of your business, nor should you make it yours. You get in a lot of trouble worrying about what somebody think about you, when really, what difference do it make? Whether they wrong or right, what difference do it make? The majority of people who have a negative viewpoint of you really don't even know you.
And if I can leave you with anything, I want to leave you with this. Hear me clearly when I say this. There are people who come in your life sometimes to be there for a season. They weren't meant to be there always. Sometimes we find ourselves hooked up with people that we think are there for a lifetime, but they were only supposed to be there for a season. There are people who come in your life like boosters for a rocket. If you ever watch a rocket go into space, the boosters fall off when it reaches a certain altitude. Some people are not equipped to handle the altitudes that you're going to.
Be silent in these 3 situations. Number 1. Be silent when you are angry. Number 2. Be silent when people do not value your words. And number 3, be silent when you want to listen to people. Namo Buddhaya.
It is the principle of circumcision. Just when you're about to step into your destiny, that's when you have the most trouble with your spouse, the most trouble with your children, the most trouble on your job, the most trouble in your house. It is the principle of circumcision that before you can possess, you got to go through pain to possess. You have to do cutaways to possess. Abraham's going up on the mountaintop. He's followed by his minions who are following behind him. When he found the vision of where he was supposed to go, he told them to stay with the asses. Me and the lad are going yonder to worship. The separation from the servants that were serving him is circumcision. Circumcision isn't just about a sharp knife in a personal place. Circumcision is about who doesn't get to go.
Be silent in these 3 situations. Number 1, be silent when you are angry. Number 2, be silent when people do not value your words. And number 3, be silent when you want to listen to people. Namo Buddhaya.
Nobody is going to give you anything that you have not earned. Nobody cares how tough your upbringing was. Nobody cares if you suffered some discrimination. You have to remember that whatever you've gone through, it pales in comparison to the hardships previous generations endured, and they overcame them. And if they overcame them, you can overcome them too.
There are 4 things you need to know before you go out into the world. You remember these things and you'll be the best person you can be. First, look at this pencil. We know that in order for it to become a useful pencil, from time to time, again and again, it's going to have to go through a resharpening. Well, if this pencil could feel, we can imagine how painful that would be. But that's what it takes for it to be a useful pencil. Life is much the same. Painful experiences and challenges come to us all. But it is through these opportunities that we build character and we grow. Second is to keep in mind that we'll be able to correct many of the mistakes you make along the way, just like this eraser. If we learn from our mistakes, they're not mistakes. They're lessons we can use to do better the next time around. And third, just like this pencil, every place where you are used, so to speak, you leave your mark. You're writing your own story. Think of stumbling blocks as stepping stones and never stop writing. And fourth, always remember the most important part of you is what's inside.